Hey there, so let's start with the first type of funnels that we will be looking at is the form submission, which is basically the most common way to collect information via a form, which you can select what kind of fields you have in your form so that you can start collecting the information. Well, I mean, that's how you do it for lead magnet and the other types of funnels as well. This is the most common way, but we'll kind of separate it for this one as like the most common way to do it. So let's get inside and build our first funnel. So we're now in the templates of your funnels. You can select basically anything, and you have different designs. So you can do it from your funnel section and create a new funnel. Now there you can create whatever funnel you want, of course, or start with an empty one. But let's start for this example with a template for home type of a funnel. First of all, two ways to collect information with this lead generation. Form submit is basically either to have the form on the home page, on the landing page, which would be the first step of your funnel, or you can have it as a second step, for example. So they have to click on a button, for example, and get to the opt-in page with the form. So depends on what is your idea, and you can of course test it out and see how it works better or not. But you can select whatever type of design you want, and if you want people to submit that on the first page like this one, you can go right away and just have your contact form at the end and at the beginning so that people can submit it easily. But for our example, let's start with a home type of a funnel, basically that you have. First is the landing page to capture their attention, and then on the second step for people to submit their information so that you can capture it. So let's say this funnel, for example. Let's add a name to it. Let's go F1 and click on save. This is how simple it is to create our first funnel. And yeah, this is our landing page, basically our home page in this home type of a funnel, and it comes with different sections. So what is the idea behind this funnel is basically on the landing page is to give enough information. That's why I said it is so important to know what is your target market so that you can really build a page that is going to capture their attention. So when you click on the funnels button, you can see what kind of pages you have inside. In this case, you have a home page, a landing page, and an opt-in, in this case, a pop-up. So when people click on the button, they'll go to the pop-up to submit their information. Very, very simple way of doing that. And this funnel in particular, we left it intentionally without the thank you page so that I can show you how actually simple it is. So if you want to add any type of a step on top of your template, for example, you can just click on add new step. And if you want to add a page, click on a page. If you want to add a pop-up, click on a pop-up. So let's add a page, and we have a thank you category. So you can just simply select this one, add a name to it, let's say thank you, and just add it to your whole funnel. So just like that, we've created our thank you page. As you can see, it takes our brand color. We can just edit it however we want to just modify it a bit, and that's it. That's how we just added a new page. You can of course adjust the position if you want to move it to be a different step of your funnel. Anyways, so this funnel in hand, we have the home page, which we have to start editing. Of course, you can start editing your texts and buttons. Basically, what do you want the call to action to be? In this case, we have get a free quote. You can have it like contact us, let's discuss your project, let's discuss something, whatever your business is about. But the important part about any landing page in general is the top section. This is one of the most important parts because this is what is actually going to capture the visitor's attention. So make sure that you have a very compelling, headline with a clear call to action. Don't put too much information to it. Just make sure it's very clear what is this about. So that when the person visits, they know, okay, this is a business about this, and they do that, and they can solve my problem. And that's why it's nice to have like the benefits or the services and what do you do maybe somewhere below so people can easily see after they scroll down. But this is very important because this will determine, basically you have a few seconds to convince people to keep on scrolling to learn more about your business and why should they click on the button and actually submit their information. Why would they do that? What is this thing that is going to drive them to do so? So that's why it is important to talk about how you can solve their problems. What are the benefits of using your product or service, whatever it is. So in this case, we also have an image, so you can edit your image by double clicking on it, change it with an image, for example, that is going to portray your business and your services. In this case, we have a few information about the business that we have, but of course you can replace with whatever information you want. So you can easily change your icon to something else, maybe customer satisfaction information, maybe some of the key benefits of your product. So in this case, we have some kind of more contact information, but feel free to just double click and start editing your information however you want. If you don't want this section, you can simply delete it. You can delete whatever you want and add a replacement of whatever kind you want. So let's say that you want to add some kind of services. You can just select a cool design or maybe something about companies that are working with you and just add it to your page. So that's why it is important for you to know the hierarchy of your page. What exactly you want people to see first, to capture their attention. What do you want them to see second? Maybe like social validation, how you work, how the whole process works, for example, with some of the key features and services maybe. Why choose the company, your services again, and make sure that you have throughout your design call to actions, as this is what will drive people to click and actually take the next action, which in our case is to go to the next step, which is to submit the form. So make sure that you have call to actions throughout your pages. So we can see here some information, some testimonials from users. Again, if you don't like this design, you can just click on that block, go to testimonials and replace it with something else that you feel it's more appropriate for your design. So you can just do it like this, delete it, and people, just like that, you just added a new section to your testimonials because you didn't like the previous one. And just like that, you can just start editing your information. This way, without the block, you can add whatever sections you want from scratch or from the pre-made hundreds and hundreds different designs. You want to add a video type of testimonials, just add it like this. You want to add just a video section, just click and add it to your page. It's so simple. And again, we finish at the end with the call to action. In this case, hire us right now or something else. We decided to roll by mistake. So you can just edit this button, just double click on it and modify what do you want it to say. Now, when you add a button and in Edit Funnel itself, all the buttons and links go to the next step by default. So you don't really have to modify and say where exactly they have to go, because it knows. It just by default goes to the next step of your funnel, whatever that is. If it's a page, if it's going to be a page, if it's a pop-up, it's going to be the pop-up. And at the end, we finish with some footer, just information about our business. You can just delete some sections if you don't want. And if we don't have like navigation, you can just have it something like that. When you're ready, click on Save Changes. And just like that, we can modify easily our page. And if you want to add it and modify how your form is being on the next step, you can just click on the arrow or just go here and select the next step, which is this pop-up, which you can edit freely with the drag and drop again, change the text and everything. And the form is actually the thing that is so important in this case, because this is what is going to capture the visitors' information. This is the actual lead generation that is happening. It's just as important, of course, as the landing page, because if the landing page is not appealing to your audience, they will not click on the button and they will not go into your pop-up. So make sure the first thing is to have a very appealing page. And the great thing about having a very appealing page is, well, you actually don't know what is working or not. So that's why you can do A/B testing and try different things that might convert a lot better than what your current design is here. So that's why we created the A/B testing. And when you go into a specific step, you can do it from here and just click on A/B test, or from here you can split. So basically, when you split, you just do a duplication. And you have now an A and a B version, which you can toggle between and change, for example, your headlines. Maybe you can add a different section here with a video instead of this information, and see how that will affect the conversions. And the conversions are these percentages below. Basically, these show how well the step converts. So you can click and actually see analytics about your conversion. In this case, we don't have any traffic, so there is no way of knowing. And after time, you can select which is the winner. You can do it manually, automatically. So after a certain amount of visitors visit this step, and whatever is the better conversion step, it's going to be selected as winner. Or you can manually select right away which one of the two you want to leave, and the loser will be deleted. So keep in mind that if you select A as a winner, for example, B will be deleted and you will not be able to get it back. Anyways, so let's go into our pop-up. So this is how you do your A/B testing. Very important to test out and see which one would be converting better. Now our form that we were talking about. So the form itself, you can just double click and start editing what kind of fields you have inside. Of course, each field you can just edit and see what kind of a property it is. So by default, these are the properties that you have inside your CRM, and we'll be showing you in a second how you can create your own properties. You can actually do it from here as well. So by default, you have the name, email, and message, for example, but let's say that you want to collect phone as well. You can just click on the plus and add the phone. Now, I suggest that you always add the properties, but because the properties are these fields, these properties in the CRM from the contact, that they're automatically associated with the contact. So just by clicking on phone, this is already a property in the CRM, and when somebody fills in the phone, that will be associated with this user that is being created by submitting the form. Of course, you can make the phone to be required field from here. You can do other things such as placeholders, descriptions, etc. You can check them out. If you create a new field that is, for example, let's say an age, you want to collect the age of the user, and you don't have such property, but you want this property to be associated with this user, you can just add a text field. And let's call it age. Just like that, we created our field. Now we can start collecting the age. But how do we associate the age with the actual to be a property inside the contact? So just clicking on the edit again. Here you have the mapping. So basically, we can map it to an age property, which we don't have. So we can just click on define it as a property. So we can just create an age here. We can make it as a number, because age can only be a number, and have it available in the forms. So basically, when you create a new form anywhere in your funnel, you'll see that age as a property. And that's basically it. We just created our new property and we added age, and we can make it required. Now, when somebody submits this age, it will be associated with the contact that is being created inside this form. It's that simple to create this property. And we have a very big form, of course, so we can just delete some of the fields if we don't need them. But this is how simple it is to collect information from your users via a form. Now we have other things, such as you want to change the button name to be something else. You want to get notifications via email. If you want to list more emails, you can actually do it by listing them here with a comma like this, for example. And you can add as many as you want. You can also tag the users. So you can tag users coming from this particular form with a tag that you desire. You can just type in the tag or use a already created one. So yeah, feel free to do so. And yeah, on what is the action after they submit the form? By default, going to the next step, which is our thank you page that we just added. So this is it. This is how simple it is to start collecting information. This would be also the way to collect information for lead magnets or for any type of way that you want to collect information from a form. And when you're ready, click on save, and basically that's it. In Pop-Up specifically, we have a few other options that you can edit. It's basically a bit styling about the pop-up itself. the way that it shows. You can show the pop-up in different ways, but of course in the middle is probably the most appropriate way to show the pop-up itself, and different animations too that you can change as well. For example, like this. There's cool different ways that you can change your form display. And click on save when you're ready. And that's the way. That's how we created a pop-up, basically edited our form, how to create an A/B testing. So now let's preview our funnel that we just edited and see how it is. So we have our landing page. So we learn information about our business, why it is so important to us. As you can see, there is not too much text, but it is enough text to keep the attention and the interest of the visitor. And throughout the design, you can see that you have this call to action buttons where you can click and take the action, which is showing the pop-up. Now we can add some information. We can add an email. We can add some phone number, an age, let's say 31, and we can submit our form. And after that, you go to the just created thank you page that we did a few minutes ago. And this is it. This is the completion of our funnel. And I'll show you why it is nice to add some kind of call to actions after they perform the action that you want them to perform as well. So we just completed this form, and we can go into our contacts, and we can see the user was created. And you can see also that you have the form that they submitted, the information inside, and you can also see the property of age that we just created for our whole CRM, for our whole funnel. Now you can also see these properties in our settings of the whole CRM. You can see it, created on 17th of September, the age property that you can again edit if you wish. So this is how simple it is. So there you can see all your contacts coming to your CRM. You can easily manage and see all the users. Really, really simple and easy. And let's go back to our funnel. And yeah, this is it. You can play around, do the A/B testings, and see which one would be converting the most. And about the thank you page, why I said it is nice to have some other call to action. Well, while you still have them in the funnel, they're still hot leads basically. So they submitted their information. So on this page, you can do different, ways to basically to urge them to take a secondary action, for example, to watch something, they're already here. So, use that traffic for something. Maybe, follow you in your Facebook group or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever you want. You can have them to watch something. You can have them to, click on a button and go somewhere else, maybe to another funnel, whatever you wish. You have different ways to, engage right now. So even 10% of these people, if they take some action, that's basically free traffic that is there. They already are interested in your business, in what you do. They submitted their information. They took the time to browse, to click on a button, to submit their information. So yeah, these are hot leads. So you can have some call to action or just information that they can use, because why not? Why not? While they're still have your attention, why not just have them to take an action? And yeah, these are basically the form submit, the basic way of creating a lead generation funnel in a simple landing page, opt-in, and a thank you page. Again, you have different analytics inside your funnel about different things. It's really, really simple and easy to do all these things. So this is the first type of a funnel, and in the next video we'll be discussing the booking type of a funnel, which again, it is very similar to this one. The main difference is the opt-in. Basically, you still have the landing page, which would be encouraging people to take an action. And after that would be the next step, which would actually be, not in this case where it is a form, but it's actually being an actual event from the appointments, the booking and appointments, where people can pick a time and a day and schedule an appointment, which is one of my favorite ways to actually interact with your visitors. So check out the next video about appointments and booking if you want to learn more about that. Thank you for the attention, and talk to you in the next video.